Hello, hello. Today we're going to be trying to complete the first trial of the sniper in Space Marine 2. So, for all the other ones, like as you can see here as I scroll through them, I was able to complete them all, including that one for the sniper. For all the other ones, it was pretty simple. A lot of them I did first try or maybe second or third try, weren't that hard. But this first one here just took me a long time. Had to do planning, which I'll go over later, and just very difficult. Probably over an hour attempting this, but through trying it over and over again, I kind of came up with a plan, and I assume some other people are probably having problems with it too. So I just wanted to create this video to show how I managed to beat it. I don't know if this is the best way. This is just after all of my tries, the best way I found. So the first thing I kind of want to do is to kind of go over the theoretical of the situation. So just to lay out what the mission is, you start in a room that kind of looks like this. These hallways are supposed to be directly across from each other and in the center, but I'm no artist. Then there's also like these kind of raised areas on each of the sides here, kind of like this. And then I think there's like hallways at the edges here, but those don't really come into effect in the plan or the mission at all. But what the mission is, I'm going to use blue for the character. You start in this bottom hallway here, a little bit up from the center. I'm going to turn this up. Let's go to 10, just so it's a little bit easier to see. So this is where you spawn. In this mission, there's going to be two allies. I'm going to make them yellow. One that spawns in the very center. I'm not going to make it yellow because those are way too dark. Let's make them purple. So there's one that spawns in the center there. And one that spawns on the other side. They start in the trial. They start in the down state, so they need to be revived, and that's kind of the point of the trial. Is you go invisible, run up to them, revive them, then they help you out. But the hard part is that you have to do all this in a minute. So as well as these two, at least to start off with, there's a couple of smaller enemies up on each of these pillar or raised areas. Quite a large group of enemies here with some larger guys. And then I call them a Grenader Tyranid. They're the ones that kind of shoot out the like bunch of different bolts, or they shoot out those like almost look like thorny vines that appear on the ground that like will damage you, slow you, and stuff like that. This is the initial layout when you first load into the mission. So how the mission tends to go is you will then as I said, walk forward and they'll charge at you. But as they go to meet you, you'll use your invisibility, sneak around, revive this guy, keep walking and revive this guy. And then you'll just have to kill all the other Tyranids. That doesn't work too well. The biggest reason is that at exactly 28 seconds into the mission, throughout the mission, there's some more Tyranids that spawn, but at exactly 28 seconds, there is another group of Tyranids who spawn down here, including what I call a sniper Tyranid. These are the ones that kind of have that laser that goes on you, that they charge up, and then they'll hit you with it, and it does a fuck ton of damage, and it'll knock you down. Really fucking annoying. But they, as I said, only spawn 28 seconds into the mission. And again, you only have a minute to beat the mission. So... And also at that point, you're going to be all the way at the other side. This wouldn't be as big of a problem, especially because you're playing as a sniper. Theoretically, you would have a sniper, but for some reason they gave you, I forget what the gun's called, but in this mission they don't give you a sniper. They give you what is essentially just a little submachine gun Uzi type of deal. So good fire rate, good up close, shitty range. So you can't really shoot this guy from all the way over there. And that during that whole entire time, there's going to be more Tyranids spawning all over the place. And you kind of just get into some trouble. So, you do have one trump card for this, though. when you first spawn in and you start the mission, you have a grenade, which is I forget exactly what it's called again, but it essentially kind of works like C4 from other games, where you place it and then you can activate it later for it to go and explode. Big boom. Now, since you're starting down here where the biggest problem of the map is, you can, what I like to do is I'll right when the timer starts, right once I can move, I'll take a couple steps back, plant the charge back there. We'll make it green or whatever. And then I'll kind of go through the mission as normal. So from there, I'm going to run up here, saving my invisibility. I don't want to use my invisibility until I meet with the line of Tyranids, because it does have a time limit. So wait until you meet their line before you use the invisibility. Also, when I say run, I mean roll. Rolling in this game is slightly faster than running. And in this time mission, the one successful time I've been able to do this mission, I did it at exactly 1 minute. So you have to save milliseconds on this mission. So roll, meet with the enemy line, go invisible. Try to keep as straight of line as possible as you go through all this. But with the Tyranids being there, sometimes they're going to get in your way. Kind of just have to do what you have to do. So try to keep as straight of line as possible, but sometimes you're going to have to go around them. But you can revive your teammates while you're invisible. So go revive this guy. And right once you get done reviving him, immediately start rolling to go revive this guy. He'll start fighting these guys. That's whatever. The reason that you want to revive these guys early is while they are AI and they're not the best, they will help you kill the Tyranids quicker than you could do it alone. And they're also good meat shields. So you want to get them up as quick as possible. So then you revive this guy, you keep going. There's the Grenader here. My tip is if you do this whole entire first part perfectly, generally by the time you get to him, even if you don't do it perfectly, you'll have invisibility left. It's just how much. If you do this part like damn near perfectly, you'll have maybe a second or two. So you could get nearly to the guy to start reviving. That's actually kind of not what you want to do. You want your invisibility to run out like around here. So then you can start, so he'll turn around, see you, and he'll do a melee attack against you. Which will miss because you're continuing to roll and move away, and you could do the revive while he's in the melee attack animation. But if you're too far away and he decides to do a shooting animation or something like that, then those type of thorns and stuff will start spawning over here and will make the rest of the mission a little bit more difficult. So you are now over here, just revive the guy. What next? You'll probably have this, usually if I had to guess, takes around 10 to 15 seconds at this point. So you have him revived. Immediately start meleeing or trying to kill the Grenader as fast as possible, shooting him, grenading him, just doing the best you can to kill him as quickly as possible, because he will be a big annoyance. But make sure once you get to 28 seconds, this is the most important part, is you need to activate this. And it takes a little bit of delay when you hold the button, but you need to activate this as soon as these guys spawn in to kill the sniper. Because if you don't, I find that what the AI does immediately after spawning is they'll dash either over here, off to the side, in a way that you can't predict. So you need to do it right once they spawn in to kill this guy quick. So at this point, assuming you did everything correct up until this point, this guy and a lot of the other Tyranids that spawn over here should be dead. The Grenader should either be dead or close to dead. Both of your Space Marine buddies should be revived. And now you just have a couple more big Tyranids and a lot of small Tyranids. My advice is to kill the big Tyranids first. Because in this game, a lot of times when you kill the big Tyranids, the small Tyranids will die with them. They have like a hive mind type of thing. So try to go after the big Tyranids first. And just genuinely just ignore the small Tyranids. You need to play it pretty good, so you need to know how to parry. You need to know how to dodge. You need to know how to weave in attacks and stuff like that. just so you could get the most effective and do this as quick as possible. But as you're fighting, overall, your first and biggest goal should be doing as much DPS as possible. Just hitting them or shooting them or doing whatever as much as possible. Your secondary goal, as long as it's involved with that, maybe like if you have to dodge anyways, you could do it, is start moving in this direction. The reason you want to do this is you want to attract the aggro of all the Tyranids as much as possible. So then they will, first off, come to you so you don't have to run as far later and stuff like that. And second, they'll attack you instead of the AI, because theoretically you are better at defense than the AI. So while they're attacking you, the AI can do more and will pay off more. Another thing, when you're fighting any of the Tyranids, a lot of times you'll get them to the state where like you're damaging them and they'll do the flashing red when you're able to execute them. Executions take a long fucking time. They are not worth it in this type of time trial. What you want to do is maybe melee them another time, shoot them another time, and then they'll get the little red circle that means you can execute them. Do that. That is, as far as I can tell, that is the fastest way to finish them off. You do not want to go through the actual execution because that just takes too long. So, at this point, you're killing them all. What is there left to do? Yeah, kill them, move out. Once you get done with killing all the big Tyranids, so far, every single time I have found that the Tyranids that spawn up here, they aren't attached to any of the big Tyranids, so they will usually still be alive. So what you need to do is, first off, hope that there's not too many of them. A lot of this mission comes down to RNG, where the Tyranids are located, what they do, what your AI teammates do. A lot of this is just luck. But there'll usually be, I find, like maybe 3 to 5 more Tyranids. Quickly go shoot them, because at this point you probably only have seconds left until you hit a minute. And then yeah, shoot them, kill them. Hope you did it in time. If not, restart. Another little tip going all the way back to the beginning is I've noticed that when you load into the mission, say from this screen, just clicking in and going into the mission, it'll start with a little pop-up giving you the tutorial on how your ability works, and then you'll start the mission. If you are in the mission and fail, and you restart the mission, or if you succeed and restart the mission but just don't get the 60 seconds, when you restart, you have maybe a second of time where I don't think the timer started, and you don't get the little pop-up, but you can still move. So in that time, you can start moving backwards to place the bomb. Now, I think that is all when it comes to the tips. But like I said, a lot of this just comes down to plain old luck. Where people go, how good your AI is, if they use their abilities. It's just luck. So for the rest of this video, I'm going to be attempting to do it myself. I'm expecting this is going to take me a little while to complete, because like I said, the one successful time, I did it at a minute. So with no wiggle room. So I'm going to be trying to do it again, just to show off. And during this explanation, I maybe threw in some like slow-mos to like give examples of what I mean. But yeah, I'm going to include at least one of me trying it and succeeding throughout the whole entire thing, just so you can see how it all goes through. But yeah, I'm going to get into that now. Another little tip, you see how my gun's out of ammo? You can still do the little like quick time event shooting things, even though your gun's out of ammo. But yeah, another fail.
Shall fade on the day you become a dread. Nothing an apothecary cannot heal. Fester and rot.
Oh, we're looking good this time. Oh. Oh. Is that the last one? Please? Let's go. That didn't take too long. I've only been recording for 20 minutes. That was like third try. Goddamn. I had plenty of time left over. So I guess the AI was probably just doing real good work for me there. But yeah, there you go. That's the trial. A few things that I kind of forgot to note earlier, just as tips that I kind of mentioned while I was recording, but I just wanted to do it now when it's not intense. When you have the little marker that says that you can do the shooting animation, the little red circle, you don't have to have ammo in your gun. You don't have to have any ammo at all. Even kind of just as a funny little thing, you don't have to even have a gun necessarily. It's just something that you can do no matter what. And that goes for any character in the campaign, no matter what. But yeah, no, I must have got really lucky that time. Is the only way I could imagine. Really just good timing. I felt like I was a little early on the bomb, but it seemed perfect. So maybe you want to do it a little closer to like as you see them spawning, do it instead of like waiting for them to spawn and then do it. Just to kind of keep it a little bit thinner, keep it a little bit more on time. And then I'm still a little confused, or not confused, still going back and forth on it inside my mind, which one's better between once you get done with the Grenader, because with the Grenader you want to be meleeing him, staying on him so he can't grenade. But once you get to the other Tyranids, I don't know which one's better between shooting and just using your melee. Because shooting, I feel like, does more damage, but you have to reload, obviously. They'll rush you. They'll do their block thing where you can't even shoot through their block. Whereas with the melee, you can like heavy attack through it and stuff like that. So, I don't know. That one, I mean, I was leaning towards shooting before, but that one I felt like I did a lot of melee and it still worked, and it actually worked really well. But maybe in that one, my AI just went off because at the very end there was only like one Tyranid left. So, yeah, there you go. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope this helps you out with what I deem as the hardest trial. But yeah, thank you very much for joining me.